Hello and welcome to this review of my Datacomp DFK-515AT. Now this is a fun one. I found this keyboard a while ago at the recycling centre where I bought it for £3. As soon as I saw the board I knew what switches it was going to have, and as soon as I touched it... Yup, bingo, Blue Alps. Nice. Apart from both feet completely missing, and yeah, that's not broken, that's completely missing, the board is in very, very good condition, very clean, and it seems to have had very little use as well. Despite being from 1986, the switches definitely feel like they should. It's a delight to type on, and of course a simply gorgeous typing noise. Now, I've talked about Blue Alps several times before. They're great. They're my favorite switches. Check out my Acer and Northgate videos for more on Blue Alps. Now, Blue Alps are loud, really loud. I don't think I know anyone who'd say they're not loud enough, but clearly the people at Datacomp did, because in addition to the clicky noise, they thought, well, let's just install an electronic beeper on top of that. You can barely even hear the switches anymore, and there's no volume control, and I don't know a shortcut to turn it off. Worse, it's got one of those repeat functions that keeps making the noise when you hold it down. It's absolutely terrible. Now, one thing you might have noticed is the layout, which might seem a little strange, and it is, because it's from a rather strange era. See, in 1986, the IBM Model M, which would set the standard layout until this very day, had only just come out, and everyone was still used to the older AT layout. Now, the AT layout had become extremely popular, but they were probably also aware that everything IBM brought out set the global standard. So Datacomp seemed to have designed this keyboard as a kind of hybrid between the two to appease both crowds. It's got the F keys at the top, like the Model M, but there's only 10, like on the AT. They must have been really afraid of that scary newfangled nav cluster as well, because it's actually off by default, and you have to switch it on using this cursor pad key before it works. I see absolutely no reason to have this feature, other than that they must have been afraid you'd use the nav cluster by accident or something. It even has its own lock light in addition to the normal 3. I've never seen this feature on any other keyboard before, and frankly it makes no sense to me at all. It locks numlock too. With it on, you can't switch the numlock off, because otherwise you'd have 2 nav clusters. So it's pretty much a numlock lock key. The main typing block uses the AT layout though, including big ass enter and small backspace key. And there's a completely random extra control key here below the lock lights, and a reset key which doesn't appear to do anything. The thing is definitely built apart at over 2.3 kilos. It's heavier than an IBM Model M, as well as a Northgate Omni key, making it the heaviest Alps board I own. The weight comes from a metal mounting plate as well as a metal back panel, which appears to be in really nice condition. There's pretty much no scratches on it. Between all that metal and the sturdy plastic case, it's definitely an absolute tank. It's also absolutely massive. I know it doesn't look all that big, but it's got a huge bezel, there's very large gaps between the key blocks, and the rim is pretty wide. I shit you not, it's actually over ½ a meter in length. At the back, next to the model sticker, it's got an AT-XT switch, so even though it was named after the AT, it was still compatible with the PC. Because the feet are missing, which I think is no coincidence, the previous owner must have removed them for some reason, the board is slightly wobbly at the backside, so I tend to use it with a small foam strip to prop the back up. That way it keeps it in balance. And the cable the keyboard comes with is long, thick and coiled. Overall, 10 out of 10 for sturdiness. The keycaps are lovely too, very typical for Alps switches. They're nice and thick double-shot ABS keycaps made by Alps Electric themselves, and I really like the font on these. I think it's Helvetica. Especially these early day arrow keys with the really chunky arrows. It just looks fantastic. ABS yellows with age, of course, but as you can see, these have no yellowing on them at all. They're in excellent condition. It's still got some stepped keys here and here, like on many AT boards, and very large F keys at the top, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Really lovely keycaps overall, though. Concluding, what a lovely keyboard. Well, the beeping will get on your nerves a bit, or drive you completely insane, but other than that, it's great. Fantastic switches, great keycaps, could function easily as a murder weapon, it's all good. That's it for this review. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And following is a typing demonstration of me typing on this keyboard with the beeper switched on because I don't know how to turn it off.